Bad Ethics Plays presents The Tale of Johnny Pleasure Act 3.
Well, land sakes, you folks keep coming back to me like a bear to the honey jug. Mr. Smith and Jane, the most ornery, dangerous outlaws in the whole county, now stumble upon Johnny.
Oh, well. If it ain't Sheriff Johnny Pleasure, so we meet again, eh, Sheriff? We heard about your little conversation with Madge and Babs, Johnny.
You did you?
The town folks are saying you're saying some pleasures are better than others. We don't take too kindly to that kind of talk in our little town, Sheriff. Do you really think that the pleasure you get from being able to read is better than the pleasure a person gets from drinking?
I reckon so.
I reckon so. But that can't be right, Sheriff. My Uncle Slick got great pleasure from reading books and magazines about fishing, but he became an alcoholic and went to an early grave. My Uncle Slick then had experience of both pleasures, but he chose what you claim is the lesser of the two. How do you figure that, Johnny? Yeah, if the reading pleasure was really the better pleasure, why wouldn't Mr. Smith's Uncle Slick have chosen it over the drinking pleasure? We're waiting for your answer, Sheriff. It may be objected that many who are capable of the higher pleasures occasionally, under the influence of temptation, postpone them to the lower. But this is quite compatible with a full appreciation of the intrinsic superiority of the higher. Men often, from infirmity of character, make their election for the nearer good, though they know it to be less valuable, and this no less when the choice is between two bodily pleasures as when it is between bodily and mental. They pursue sensual indulgences to the injury of health, though perfectly aware that health is the greater good.
Well, this is interesting that why would someone who, if there really is one pleasure, if one pleasure is really higher than another, why would someone choose the lower pleasure? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, Mill's got an answer.
Sometimes a person who has experienced the so-called higher pleasure chooses the lower over the higher. Doesn't this show there really isn't a lower or higher? Nope, because sometimes we choose the lower pleasure over the higher because it is the nearer good. It is easier to access despite the fact that we value it less than the greater pleasure. So even though I would value 20 years down the road to have great health, it's just easier to get the pleasure from Ben and Jerry's, even though it's a lower quality pleasure. That pleasure sensation you get from eating ice cream isn't as valuable as the pleasure of living a healthy life, but it sure is a lot more accessible more quickly. Wonder if they sell Ben and Jerry's at the concession stand here. Wonder who that could be. Hello? Oh, yeah, hey. What? All right, I'll tell them, but they're going to be disappointed. Bye. Bad news. The play's been canceled. We didn't even get through the full performance. That's how it's tough here on Broadway. But, listen, here's the good news. I've posted the script into the table of contents, so you can look and you'll find the script for the play and you can read the final act for yourself. That's tough. Anyway, thanks so much.
Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? President Jefferson, I give him